The indigenous languages of Australia represent a captivating tapestry of human communication. For decades, linguists have been intrigued by the possibility that these languages, despite their diversity, share a common ancestor. This ancestor, known as Proto-Australian, is believed to be the root from which the hundreds of languages spoken across the continent descended. This essay delves into the evidence supporting the Proto-Australian hypothesis, explores the language family's structure, and examines the mysteries surrounding its spread. The notion of a single ancestral language for Australian Indigenous languages is a powerful one. It suggests a deep and interconnected linguistic history reaching back thousands of years. Understanding Proto-Australian, therefore, is not just about reconstructing an ancient language. It's about unraveling the story of the first Australians and their journey across the continent. The search for Proto-Australian has been a collaborative effort involving linguists, archaeologists, geneticists, and, most importantly, indigenous communities. By piecing together linguistic evidence, archaeological data, and genetic information, researchers are gradually shedding light on this ancient language and its legacy. The story of Proto-Australian is a testament to the enduring power of language. It reminds us that even languages separated by time and geography can share a common thread, connecting us to a shared past. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of Proto-Australian, we gain a richer understanding not only of Australia's linguistic history, but also of the human journey itself. Linguistic evidence overwhelmingly supports the existence of Proto-Australian. Researchers have identified systematic sound correspondences and shared vocabulary across the vast majority of indigenous Australian languages. These shared features are unlikely to have arisen by chance. They point towards a common ancestor from which these languages diverged. Proto-Australian is thought to have had two primary branches, Pama-Nyungan and non-Pama-Nyungan. Pama-Nyungan is the larger of the two, encompassing roughly 90% of the Australian landmass. Its languages are spoken across most of mainland Australia. Non-Pama-Nyungan languages, on the other hand, are concentrated in the northern part of the continent, particularly in the top end. One compelling piece of evidence for this family tree is the word for hand. In Pama-Nyungan languages, variations of the word mala are common. Intriguingly, similar words for hand are found in several non-Pama-Nyungan languages, suggesting a shared origin in Proto-Australian. These shared words, known as cognates, are linguistic fossils, preserving traces of a common linguistic past. The geographical distribution of Pama-Nyungan and non-Pama-Nyungan languages is also telling. The dominance of Pama-Nyungan across the continent, with non-Pama-Nyungan languages restricted to the north, suggests a scenario where Proto-Australian first emerged in the north. Subsequently, a descendant language ancestral to the Pama-Nyungan family spread widely, while the non-Pama-Nyungan languages remained more localized. While the evidence for Proto-Australian is strong, the circumstances surrounding its spread remain a puzzle. Linguistic reconstruction suggests that Proto-Australian was spoken around 6,000 years ago in the top end of present-day Northern Territory. From there, it spread rapidly and extensively, eventually replacing almost all pre-existing languages on the continent. This linguistic dominance is remarkable and raises many questions. Typically, languages spread through population movement, cultural influence, or technological advantages. However, the archaeological and genetic evidence for such drivers during the period of Proto-Australian's expansion is limited. There is no clear archaeological signature, such as a distinct toolkit or pottery style, that correlates with the spread of the language. Genetic studies have offered valuable insights into the peopling of Australia, but their findings do not align neatly with the linguistic timeline. Some genetic studies suggest an early diversification of Aboriginal Australian populations, with limited subsequent gene flow. This scenario seems at odds with the rapid and widespread replacement of languages suggested by the Proto-Australian hypothesis. Another puzzle is the lack of surviving linguistic isolates on mainland Australia. In other parts of the world, where language families have spread over large areas, it's common to find isolated languages or language families that resisted assimilation. These linguistic enclaves offer valuable windows into the past. However, in mainland Australia, there are no known languages that are definitively unrelated to Proto-Australian, suggesting a remarkably complete language replacement. The mysteries surrounding the spread of Proto-Australian highlight the need for new models of language diffusion. Traditional models, often based on European examples, may not adequately explain the unique linguistic history of Australia. Factors such as social networks, prestige and cultural practices could have played a significant role in the spread of Proto-Australian. Further research is crucial to unraveling this linguistic enigma. Interdisciplinary collaborations between linguists, archaeologists, geneticists, and indigenous communities are essential. By combining linguistic analysis with archaeological data, genetic studies, and traditional knowledge, we can gain a more nuanced understanding of how Proto-Australian spread and the impact it had on the linguistic landscape of Australia. The story of Proto-Australian is a powerful reminder of the complexity of human history and the limitations of our current understanding. It challenges us to refine our models, ask new questions, and embrace the unexpected. As we continue to delve into the mysteries of Proto-Australian, we not only deepen our knowledge of Australia's past, but also broaden our understanding of the human capacity for language, migration, and cultural change.